competition.
I really want to poke the microphone, but I know I
just
shouldn't.
I'm not even gonna.
Please don't touch it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I'm not going to.
Okay, everyone. Good morning to those of us who have been taking a little break.
I literally laid down for less than a minute.
Less
and
than a
Helen was
minute.
telling me to get up. And I'm like, all right.
I was laying
Nice.
down for about maybe 5 minutes.
Sorry, Michael.
I laid down for longer than that.
Yeah?
Good morning.
Good night.
So here's what we're doing. We are
It's actually
on the
just
stream
really
right
good.
now. Michael, which
I like
which
this.
OBS thing is on the far right side? Is it big camera or big
Do you
game?
want me to grab your
So you're
blanket?
gonna.
No,
Is
that's
big
what
camera right
has
now?
my shirt on.
All right, pull up random.org and Notepad.
You're gonna need Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the password.
Michael, can you shout out the Wi-Fi pass, or either shout it out or write it down and bring it over here? I know we've got microphones. Who's heard of a game called Katawa Shoujo?
I've heard of it because of the schedule.
Did you get it?
Nope.
He just.
He was
I
totally
wasn't
not
paying
paying attention.
I'm
Hold
sorry,
on,
I was
okay.
distracting
Go
everyone.
back. Say it again. Okay.
Only visual novel I've ever heard of is Dogi Dogi.
That's the only one you've ever heard of?
Yep.
Nice. Have you played it?
Nope.
Yes.
Have you watched a Let's Play of it?
I watched a backwards compatible
Oh,
of it.
okay. Yeah, theirs was pretty good.
It was
Remember the card?
really weird.
Yeah. I like the Game Grumps Let's Play of it as well.
Uh,
It was a good
all-
game.
we
This
were all
one's a
just
little more.
waiting.
What's that?
we were all just waiting for Dan's reaction, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was everything we wanted
too.
and more.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Do I need to
It's
leave?
like what?
If I can't,
Okay.
then no.
If anyone's leaving, it'll be me. Thank you.
Leaving?
No.
What?
No,
So if
I
they
said I said excuse me, and
Okay,
he's
where
like,
am I
"You're
going?
excused." And I'm like, "Do I need to leave now?"
Random.org. What did I say? I just. Oh, darn it.
Random.org.
Today we're going to be doing
Don't trip. Don't.
voice acting.
No.
What is this voice acting?
I gotta survive.
We're going to act,
Clicker.
but only with our voices.
This is not horror.
Oh, whatever shall we do now?
Alright. Okay, so here's what we're doing, everyone. Katawa Shoujo is a visual novel, and it's about a boy in high school who is diagnosed with a heart condition and has to transfer to a school for physically disabled children. It became quite popular because it was actually developed by a group that met on 4chan. However, the game actually handles the themes and everything tastefully, and so maybe it's inappropriate that we're playing this for Extra Life. Maybe it's not. But we're going to play through, and we're not playing one of the actual routes. What we're going to be doing today is apparently Act 1 of this game. This is sort of, in addition to being a visual novel, sort of a dating sim game. So there are different girls that you as the main character can pursue romantically within the game. Yeah, I know, Helen, it's a little weird, but here's what we're doing today is...
Can I be the guy?
Yeah, no,
Oh
the main... We're all playing as the guy. We're going to assign the voices randomly.
No.
So nobody's
Oh,
picking anything.
dang it! I
anymore.
forgot the guy doesn't talk.
Right.
Don't have a voice.
What was I... Right. Act 1 of the game is when you're, like, introduced to all the girls and you, like, quote-unquote pick out who you're gonna, like, basically spend the rest of the game with. However, if we do bad enough in Act 1, apparently, I think we can die. Like, actually not... In, like, this is not that kind of game where, like, people are
died from a
dying.
broken
So,
heart.
apparently...
I'm sorry.
If we do bad enough, we can actually legit just get a game over at the end of Act 1 and not continue on at all.
I
So
don't like that.
anytime that we have a decision to make, we will discuss what
That's
the
alright.
worst possible decision would be.
And then not choose that.
No,
Huh?
totally
No, we're
choosing.
choosing the worst possible decisions because we're trying to get the bad ending.
Oh wait, so we're trying to die.
If we get to Act 2, we have done something wrong. We should get to the end of Act 1 and like get
I've
kicked
never
back
been
out.
encouraged to go try to die.
Right. So that's, I mean, I didn't want to purposely get a
Wait.
bad ending on my own, but I thought it would
Wait.
be kind of fun for us to do for this. So most of the characters in this are girls. It would be funny if Helen got the only boy part. But what we're gonna do is head to random.org, and there is
I'm not gonna
underneath.
try to
So in
I'm not
order
gonna
to
try
keep
sound
this
like a girl.
game as family friendly as
You
possible,
can do whatever you want with
we
the
have
character
to
you're assigned.
die. as soon as possible.
So if we go to lists and more,
Excuse
list
me.
randomizer.
No, that's not. I don't think that's voice acting.
Type in all of our names there,
I
separated by
burped.
line.
It happens.
So like enter.
Yeah. Line. So we're going to randomize a list of our names, and what we're going to do is every time a new character comes up, we're just going to go down the list with who gets it. Now there are some characters who are only in there for like 2 seconds, so if you get one of those, I'll let you know, and like we'll loop back to you eventually.
Other Adam, what's your last name?
N.
H.
H.
Okay. That's
In
what
an
I thought.
H.
I'm not other Adam. I'm so happy.
Your other
You're
Adam
the
to
Adam
me.
that goes to my school.
Yeah. Go Miners. Go beyond the surface.
To some people, I'm
Um,
Mother Kelly.
dig-
It's music
Dig
for me
deep.
asleep.
Dig deeper.
Dig deeper. Why are you a Kelly?
All right. By the way, we will have donuts very
Because
soon
my
to eat
sister-
while we're playing this, so we can be eating while we're trying to talk.
N
Helen
A.
might actually, you might actually be the boy, Helen.
Oh.
Wonderful.
So, although here's what's gonna depend: do we want the narrator to also say the guy's lines, or are those two different people, like narration versus person talking?
I mean, I think it kind of depends on how many characters we have.
There are quite a few. I think we might have to double up regardless, because I didn't realize we would be like 2 people backed out this past week, and I had the schedule planned for months. Also, this is another one of those things where you plan some things out thinking it would be a certain group of people. Like I know if like Brett and Drake from previous years were here, like they'd have a lot of fun making fun of this, and then it was like brand new people. So hopefully this goes well anyway.
I want to be a
I
guy.
think I'll have fun with this.
All right.
I can make fun of people.
we'll
Can
go
I be a
ahead
British
and-
guy?
Here's
I almost want to
purple.
ask
Even if
you
it
to lower the
involves,
lights.
even if it involves killing them.
Not a ton. We don't want to fall asleep.
I hope
but
that tired me is the best me for this game.
Why do you
I-
think I'm drinking my energy drink?
the beginning of this game is very quiet.
Starts off with the naked branches. All
it
right.
it does get faster paced after this opening sequence here.
So, am I-
Helen, you are number 1. So if we go into the notepad, we'll keep track of it. So next to Helen, type. Are we doing there? Just type main character.
You are the main character.
Yes, please.
Amazing.
Let's put protagonist.
Protagonist. Yeah, put the main up. You could put narrator.
Whoa,
Okay.
protagonist.
Hi, I'm the protagonist.
So
I'm
we
the
can go ahead and start.
protagonist, guys.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this all.
Let's go. Read the
You're
line.
the narrator.
Let's go. We're starting.
Shush. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold.
All right. If you're doing his voice as well, then this is when you do that.
All right, let's see if I can figure out a voice. Just how long am I expected to wait out here, anyway?
Okay. Never heard British high style before.
I was not British.
I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book when I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I am more a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of innovation.
Initiative.
Yeah.
Oh,
As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes fall silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest make it seem like time has slowed to a crawl.
Very matter-of-fact tone. Hey, we've got breakfast here.
Doorbell!
Okay.
The rustling of dry snow underfoot
Let's pause this while we get.
startles.
food.
Can I at least finish reading this line?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish
Startles
reading
me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind.
this line. Who is it? We'll
The
find
donuts.
It's donuts.
out. Right. Let's get some donuts. Who wants donuts? Krispy Kreme.
I'm pretty sure we
I
all
was
want
hoping
donuts.
people-
I like donuts.
I have to.
I
because
just,
I'm-
I want anyone
actually
watching
not
to know, if you're
You don't
trying
have
to, like,
Oh, I have to. because
convince me I should go out with you.
It's a meal. I
If
have
you
to.
slipped me a note saying to
Dude,
go
I
to a
have to
certain
eat
place,
it.
and when I went there, you just ordered donuts for me, I would love you.
I'm gonna
Especially
keep
if it
saying
was at
150
1:50 in the,
the first
morning.
time.
Actually, I don't know if I'd appreciate that at 1:50 in the morning,
This is definitely
because
the
I like
earliest
sleep.
This is
But-
the earliest breakfast I've ever had. You are.
No,
No, you are not next. Other Adam.
Okay.
We read this already?
Yes.
Yes.
Here we go. This is now this is a throwaway character, so Adam will get another character later, but
Hi, Hisoa. You came?
He's sour.
I don't know where I'm going.
A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice
all right,
instantly.
we got a question from Adam.
Since when was the narrator British as well?
because I realized this
They're the
is the
same
guy's
person.
thoughts.
It changed after the first voice line.
So I realized this is the guy's thoughts.
Okay, that's interesting. Go ahead.
Because
He thinks differently at times.
British people have British thoughts.
I feel my heart skip a beat.
that's why he has to go to the hospital. He clearly has a heart problem.
Foreshadowing.
I feel my heart skip a beat.
Gosh, it's getting worse.
Stop this.
No.
It's a voice
just
I've
getting
listened
started.
to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper
That's
to a
what I want to
conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of
So romantic.
You really know how to impress a girl. Let me tell you.
the voice of my dreams, and my
telling
heart
notifications
begins
are
to
popping up.
race.
That's great.
Just,
What's worse than having your phone? Having your
I know. Everything that goes to my phone goes to this computer. All right.
Do do do.
Character art.
Yeah.
You and not.
Iwanaka, I got the note. I got a note telling me to wait here. Was it you?
Yeah.
Yours. Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic.
Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it.
A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. These are very nice trees.
That heartbeat though.
My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Well, that doesn't sound weird. So, here we are, out in the cold. Shush. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Thump, 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 thump. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried.
You see,
Got him really perked up there.
I wanted to know if you go out with me.
Regular.
I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point.
Hisao.
Oh gosh, this music.
Piano music
I
intensifies.
reach up, trying to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain across along my arms.
Hisao.
He's okay.
He's about to die.
Yeah.
My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror.
So, yeah, apparently this is.
All right, this is what.
'Cause, yeah, 'cause, like, I don't know. 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 'Cause, like
Arigato.
The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees.
This is not just.
Am I supposed to read this too?
Yes.
Yeah.
The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky. It would knock out. Running towards me, all of these fade to black.
You would not go.
I can't read, okay?
Yeah, this is it. We got the bad ending, guys.
The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako
even
screaming
try.
for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Whatever shall we do now?
That was the story of how Hisao died.
And now we are playing as his ghost. He hasn't flatlined.
Adam
Four
is there.
Leaf Studios presents.
Okay.
You can read that.
Katawa Shoujo.
4-Leaf Studios.
Is it because they met on 4chan and that's why they call it?
No way. Whoa. Totally not.
Anonymous 22.
A lot of names.
No, they're just ripping off Team Forster.
Believe it.
Blues 1, 2, 3.
I do have to say the music is very good, says. And the art so far.
Check out that art. Look at it.
The music is very
Hey.
good in this game.
The needle is covered.
Good.
What do you think that black
Because
goop
they're
is
in a
the
good
background?
hospital.
What do you think the black goop is in the background?
Yeah, it's a pile of goop.
It's called a rag.
Oh, that makes sense.
Amazing how that works.
Well, what do you think that machine does?
I don't know. I've never seen
Engineering.
something like
There's
Ask Delta. Delta can tell us what that machine did. He's an
Delta,
engineer.
what does it? What does that thing do? Why am I still being British?
I don't know. But
Don't
if
try
you
to
keep
add
doing
more
that,
to
it's gonna
this
start
game.
being contagious. I'm like
Once I've
actively.
started, I can't stop.
I'm trying to actively.
And it's not a very good
I'm
accent.
trying to
Alright,
actively.
here
It's
we
been
go.
4 months since my heart attack.
This is getting worse.
I like the
You know he
valiant.
could. You know he could always just.
And
lose
that
his
whole time, I
accent
can,
somehow.
I can
This would be the perfect
I can,
time.
I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand.
You're doing so
Are
good.
you
I'm so
okay?
proud of you.
No.
I'm so proud of you.
4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. It's not good. Arrhythmia. That's
Arrhythmia.
not right.
Arrhythmia.
Arrhythmia.
There you go. No, say it as a British person.
Arrhythmia.
Sure.
A strange word, a foreign. I thought it said Italian for a moment. Alien one. One that you wouldn't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a very long time. I've added extra words. They say it was a miracle I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is this really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had two
Hemorrhages.
hemorrhages apiece. I can't English anymore.
Here for you.
An
Yet you're speaking
American.
I'm not being American anymore.
Keep the English accent up. That's the kind of thing that spices up these
I
let's plays.
had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatment. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was filled with flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwanako I still can't think I'm pronouncing that name right.
That's good.
Imanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyways. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on the snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in.
You're nailing this monologue.
The doctors and the nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change in its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. I understand that feeling very well. But I loved the stories. Yeah, that was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass, and I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't even know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely. I couldn't even cry. I forgot the and. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, and setting them to the side as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment.
Who's next on the list? That's me. What accent should I give the doctor?
Oh boy.
Whatever you want.
Texan.
Oh no.
Hello, hi, Sal. How are you doing today? Oh, I've got the mouse.
I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him.
I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. I don't know how my accent is.
It's fine. It's fine.
When I have all your medication sorted out, I'll give you follow the prescription.
The doctor
Send us
hands a
whatever
sheet
you
of
want
paper
to
to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. Brendan, say so many.
No, that's. Hey. Fine. Fine,
He's
we'll give it
got.
to him.
Yeah, he's.
I
This
doubt
is one of the temp characters. The dad doesn't.
I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? You can just leave Brendan where he is. He'll read more stuff later. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me
Propranolol,
from the paper seems
Beltiazine,
insurmountable. They all
Verapamil,
blend together in a sea of
nightmares,
letters.
Warfarin, 50 milligrams.
I like the
400
This is
milligrams per day.
insane.
Verbalizing.
Flecainide. Asthma. Nightmares.
Side effects,
50
adverse
milligrams per
effects.
12 hours. Nausea. Nightmares.
Dictions and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision, like that winter day. I tried to read them, but it's futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All of this for the rest of my life, every day. Dun dun dun.
I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see that list fade over the years.
Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all.
Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school.
What?
This is a Japanese game. Say it right.
What?
That's not how to say it.
I don't care.
Just say
Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what. Dad turned text in.
Brandon!
Good day.
Should have said Nani. Brandon, read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that.
You
should've
have
said
to look
Nani.
at it.
Listen to what the doctor has
Nani?
to say.
Nani?
Can you read upside down?
Wow, your dad sounds very Texan.
Calm down. The way he says it tells me he knows full well that I wouldn't like it. And I'm going to be Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever.
Sit down.
Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored.
Doctor.
Not even worth.
Hey, Texan.
Doctor.
All right. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students.
Disabled? Nani?
Yes. Thank you.
Am I?
No.
It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regulated general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus.
Regarded.
Regarded? What?
Highly regarded, not highly regulated.
Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby.
Independence? It's a school for disabled kids.
Your Britishness is leaking.
Try to disguise that fact. It was, if it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point.
Brandon. Why am I dead?
Because that's how the game.
Random.
That's
No,
how
that
the game about the game works. The
Of
metagame.
course. That's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it.
Nani? It looks like I really don't have a choice.
Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education.
This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity.
Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one...
Special school, that's...
Oh, sorry.
An insult. That's what I wanted to say. It's a step down.
Next. That wasn't it. That was the wrong one.
I got it. Dad, talk.
Daddy!
Father.
Daddy.
Daddy.
It's not what you think.
No.
all the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or the other. Your father.
Doctor.
Your father's right. And many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate.
I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I wanted to protest. I wanted to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I could go back to school anyways, but no. I didn't say anything. The fact is that I know now is... The fact is that I know now it's futile.
Your builder.
I look around the room feeling very tired of all of this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice, I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I tried to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. It's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life would look like. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm reading the right words.
That's why we're adding accents and intentionally bad choices.
Okay. It's like, that's hard.
I think you should put that back
Life
where it belongs.
expectancy.
The accent is just.
I feel like you should put that heart back.
Act 1 is about the
it
life
definitely is. Have
expectancy.
you-
of this
Put that
game.
back in there.
Are we gonna make it through this?
The gate looked
We only
far
need to
too
act
pompous for what it was.
I don't know if Helen's gonna make it through this. That's
Shush.
What?
In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and grey plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good.
Moving forward.
So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with a brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms. There's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and smelling of freshly cut grass, and all other park-like things. The words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone here. It's kind of eerie. It really is. It makes me wish there was someone here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of this feeling that I stepped into another dimension.
I wish there was somebody here so we could have actual dialogue.
I'm kind of getting tired of reading. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about the hospital again. How they said that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all of this greenery? ... Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life to return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anyway. Anymore. Feeling nervous with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. Oh, it changed from instinct. A tall man with a bad posture noticed me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical.
Oh man.
You must be Nikki?
Nakaya.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome.
We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch.
The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now.
Uh-oh. Oh, should I go later?
Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already.
Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel feel really nervous. Isn't that bad for him? Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the class?
All right. So anything with a check mark is things I've done before. Just.
I think we should ask
I'm gonna
why.
be honest.
Yeah, why?
If there was a why for every question in this game, I'd just say why.
Why? Why would I want to introduce myself?
Why do I need to introduce
Why
myself to
do that?
anyone?
Why?
Why should I do any of
Why?
this? Why am I even
Just
here?
be like a small child. Just why?
Maybe that's
why?
the last question at the end
Why?
of Act 1.
Why?
It's like, do you want to go for
Why?
it? Why?
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 Zed?
I think
Why
choose
not?
Why?
Sure, why
If
not?
he goes for
Why?
Waluigi?
Oh, God.
Why? Why do I have to?
Of course not. That's why I asked.
Right.
Let's go then.
You're doing it anyway.
Oh, Muto is
My heart
judging
is
you.
pounding in my chest, and that's not a good thing. And it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs.
This is the decision that immediately kills you.
The third door down the third floor. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as a classroom for class 3-3. Really?
Wow.
Muto opens the door and enters.
Good morning.
Ugh.
Myers.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again.
That painting disturbs
I
me.
hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Dun 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 dun. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying about it. Worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. Wow. I follow the. That's your first thought, really?
Of course.
I follow the
Of
teacher
course.
into the classroom and look
For a long
around.
time.
Partially so I don't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious, the ceilings are unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over around and in between the desks. It doesn't really look like that. An entire wall is taken up by blackboards, and high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger.
All right. Yep.
What are you saying, Brendan?
No, don't worry about it.
Tag yourself.
The students' desks are standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames, simple and efficient. Again, it doesn't look like that. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal. Like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's not the immediately obvious. Then I notice one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen to when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through when he introduces me to the class. Of course I do. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. Yeah, right. There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some sort of weird hand motion. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses and then goes back to whatever she's doing.
Do you think that's what sign language looks like, Hannah?
I was trying to figure it out in my head. But it's kind
She's kind of cute, so is the cheery-looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in.
Please welcome our newest classmate.
He clasps his hands. Oh, claps. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else.
So does everyone else. Come on,
Except
guys.
one girl in the front row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. After the applause, there is a brief silence that no one seems to want to be responsible for breaking. I think I added words. The teacher soon realizes that he should probably say something. He opens with some unintelligible noises. Shuts up as he loses his momentum and then starts introducing me again. No one seems to be.
Everyone, nobody.
Maybe I should have said yes to this self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he didn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the blackboard, of course. I do that, and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward like I am now. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while my gaze sweeps across the classroom once more. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands, which feels like a weird thing to do. It really does. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in it is a bandage stump. It makes me feel a little bad.
We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone.
Oh,
Is
thank
that okay
God.
with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Moody
That's
teenager.
good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that? And who else would be able to do that better, right?
How could I do? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3.
You're gonna need that list in a second.
It hits me that I don't know who
Hakamichi.
Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression.
Alright, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi.
You're really good at saying these names. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and golden eyes, these are really weird colors, waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window.
Pink gold Hakamichi.
Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you.
Your turn.
Here we go.
What? I mean, sorry, Nani? I am caught off guard by the laughter.
It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan.
How do I do,
Do what?
I'm not Hakamichi.
How do I do, strike through?
Just put tildes around it like in Markdown.
Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neat neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of her dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored, as I would assume is normal. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Maybe.
This doesn't count as one.
She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands.
I don't know sign language and I don't pretend to.
Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own.
Maybe.
I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you?"
I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why would you think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too.
So you're both of you.
I am two girls. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right!
Misha looks at me with a weird expression, then continues.
We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later.
No, you won't.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
I should have introduced myself after all. Anything would have given a better first impression than the teacher's drone and fumbling with my name.
We knew there was gonna be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today so soon. He-chan, right?
He-chan?
Yep, it fits, doesn't it?
Did I say that out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how.
It fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan.
I wonder why everyone seems to think so.
Oops.
Can someone say my name?
Hakamichi.
Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other, excitedly blurring their hands. Hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed.
Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it.
Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out with her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today.
That's not good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there.
Nani?
Not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store.
Ah, jeez.
Really, Shi-chan? Stop laughing.
Learn about where you're going? I guess I don't bother to do that, or just don't care enough to do so. I don't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it, half-assedly anyway. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What is that? What was that? It seemed like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hits me unexpectedly deeply.
You look down. Are you okay?
No.
Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test.
Wow.
Stop being sad.
All right. All right. Stop.
And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate.
What's the music?
Yep, Shizune is fine.
Heh. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess.
Huh? Oh right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now or Shi-chan will get mad.
The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class.
That too!
Nani?
Pointed out.
Shizune
your
glares
fault.
at the two of us impatiently. I don't need sign language, to understand that. Okay, I'll get the message.
After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay?
The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finish it in a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish. Not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern to contrast with the classic exterior. Did I say something wrong?
No.
No, it's just the muttering over here.
I don't like it.
Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. I don't like that main gate.
It's the cafeteria!
Her enthusiastic statement is of the obvious, makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There is a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice! It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention. Stop it! And points to Shizune. ... I don't understand sign, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite. I should hope so.
Do you want to know something?
Nani?
Adam doesn't know whether.
About anything! We're your guides, so you should ask if there is something.
That's a right click. No, click return. Don't click anything else. Okay.
Don't click.
I wonder.
So what is the worst?
Do we want to
thing
be
ask?
ask about deafness? I feel like would be the worst thing to ask.
I've done all of them before and never gotten anyone going for it yet.
Well, I'm just saying that's
They
kind
do
of
have
rude.
Point values behind the scenes.
Just
So.
we're going with deafness?
We going with deafness?
Gotta vote.
I mean, that seems rude to me. You don't know the person really, and you're about to ask why she's deaf.
It definitely either be the deafness or just not asking them anything. I think I've got everything I need to know.
Better yet, why?
Why?
I don't know what why is in Japanese.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Not
I
now?
feel like the first one could go either way.
Here we go.
Shizune intrigues me, and I kind of want to ask something about her. But I can't really ask about something that personal, can I? I can't come up with anything else to ask, so I focus on my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something.
Ask about that.
... I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. Really? I never would have
Okay,
guessed.
so we just didn't even ask.
Yeah.
I think we picked
The
the.
game overrided our decision. Instead, no, you didn't.
That's dumb.
We arrive at the
I think we picked the
classroom
correct
early,
one.
but
That's
we're not
nice.
the first.
Oh, here we go.
That girl
Oh.
with that dark-haired girl I noticed from before is slumped over her desk in the last
I
row.
believe that's a burn victim. And I probably looked at that.
Later.
She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She's an elephant. She shrinks deeper in her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she was slowly turning into stone just from our very presence. Misha and Shizuni either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange, as it's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizuni are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me.
Unfortunately, we can't stay here and show you around today, Hee-chan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it.
Oh, wait. The teacher says I have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go?
Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside.
What?
Outside is scary.
We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside with courage, with the girls pointing out the other senior classrooms in the halls, same as ours.
Terrifying painting.
When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building, but it's not.
This is the auxiliary building right here. There's a lot of official important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' office. They even have a swimming pool.
Nani? How is that official?
Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor.
Fine.
You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on his desk.
Alright, so we got Adam is what are you being right now?
I'm nobody. I
Okay.
was a character.
Throwaway girl.
So you're this guy, smiling man.
Hello there.
So this guy.
You don't get any more
characters.
characters.
Yes.
Okay.
His name is well, name.
Oh, you didn't read it.
You didn't
I'd rather just
scroll up.
Do you want to read it again?
You can do that. Of course you can.
Give us a good voice.
A good voice?
I like this.
Like that? Hello there.
Yes, do it.
What can I do for you today?
He is a young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheek wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times.
Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else.
Of course. I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. I don't see his hand. His handshake is firm and friendly. Rather. Right. I'm a new student and my homeroom teacher told me to come meet you. My name is Hisao Naki. Kai. I don't read. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers.
Oh, you're that, Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related
Conjugal.
congenital heart muscle deficiency, right?
No. He gestures me to sit down in the vacant armchair like that one. In front of his desk. Yes.
Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly.
This
We
is a
have
very
all
loud
kinds of
sound.
facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem.
The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this really is like a hospital. Yeah, shush.
Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgeries here.
But do you do heart surgeries? His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking, why is he even saying it? Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school.
You'll get used to it.
What if I don't want to? I'm not sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it.
Now, let me just find your file again.
How did you lose it? While searching for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. Where's the saxophone coming from? It's the epitome
Epitome?
My theme song.
of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceilings, dark gray laminated flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it.
So, you already have medication for arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning
No.
and evening, or it won't be much help.
No.
Apart from that, do you have any sports? Brash stuff like, I don't know, boxing?
Why? He grins at his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some. I played football. I played football occasionally.
Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that.
Why?
At least for the time being.
No. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me from kicking a ball around.
Don't do it.
I guess I never did it out of a burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do.
Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart.
Oh, not the physical
And risking
exertion?
another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There's no mention of the cause in your papers.
Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face.
Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you.
No.
What?
No, I will not do exercise. I refuse.
Just do it.
We have physical therapy and such available, as they said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures.
Ha!
Just get some light exercise regularly.
Like video game, right?
Brisk walks,
Nope.
even light jogging, and jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming? Maybe. There's a pool here.
So I was told.
You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself.
He wags a finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already.
Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself.
Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content.
Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something.
Where's the saxophone hiding? I'm ushered out before I realize it. A very quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building. Although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them?
One of us.
Or one of
us.
one of us? ... I should go somewhere to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry.
That's not how you eat 3 meals a day.
The weariness in me grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick, like the... I wasn't done.
It's fine.
Like the others, it feels too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside.
Well, you said red brick. I looked at the red bricks and I'm like, oh, that's
What?
It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room
Worst sweepables I've ever
119.
done.
Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and the doors are wide and accommodating of wheelchairs, and the same goes for the elevators at the end of the halls. Amazing how that works. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching a television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the telly. Seems only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. Really? About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. 119. 111.
911.
The nameplates
911,
on the
what's your
room
emergency?
adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there's just 2 of us here. The light shines from below the door of room 117, aka Master Chief, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought the door had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. What?
This guy
Oh, this guy
is
looks
supposed
so
to be.
cool.
He's supposed to be the embodiment of 4chan.
I like him.
This is
A
Harry Potter.
bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He looks at me intently through his extremely thick glasses.
Alright.
Yes!
Alright.
Have fun, Jacob.
What
Does he have a
accent?
scar on his forehead?
do?
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
so.
God,
This
it's
is
Harry
Harry Potter.
I
That's what I said. The yellow and red
That's
scarf
why.
glasses.
That's why I'm
Potter.
British.
Huh?
I'm British because I have a Harry Potter roommate.
You better be freaking British, Jacob.
Oh, you want me to be?
No, he needs to be Russian,
Oh, I
obviously.
need to be Russian.
Wait, what?
I was joking.
Okay.
Be whatever you want.
No,
I can't do this
you're
in my
Russian
own
now.
voice. What? What am I doing?
Got to be
Do
a
you like
comrade.
juvenile kid voice?
No.
Can
Do, do whatever you want.
I was asking you. I was telling you.
It's all up to you.
Hello, my name is Harry Potter.
I'm the boy who died.
Wait.
Okay, this
You
is why
didn't die.
Nani?
No! We must continue. Extremely thick glasses.
Thick.
Wait,
Real
wait,
glasses have curves.
Wait,
You're thick with
you read-
at
she read-
least 6 C's.
glasses? But you read any of the stuff before it.
I did. I read
Just
everything else, and then we
click.
started discussing the
Just
voice.
go on.
I'll just look
Who is it?
I'm not.
Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until I notice his arm is touching. His breath stinks of garlic.
Gross.
He sound
Nakai.
Nakai.
Know your own name.
Shush. I'm moving into the room next door. I thought I should introduce my. His face suddenly brightens in realization. He steps back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting almost straight into my diaphragm.
Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji.
what?
Oh,
I don't.
This is cringy.
You're going Australian?
What
I
did you?
don't, I don't like where it is now. We kind of went to
What
a
did I
different
change?
accent.
I tried to make it thicker.
Can we do it?
You went Australian.
Just go with it.
Make your accent as thick as your eyeglasses.
Yeah. There we go.
At least
I
6
read this.
C's.
I just wanted to.
Ah, hi.
He goes, I read this. Come on.
I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome.
There was some suspicious. All of my accents sound
That
the
was
same.
fine. Do
Freaking.
that, do that.
Just keep
Dude,
going.
There was some suspicious-looking individual going in and out of your room earlier.
It was probably my parents.
Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover.
His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of a way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures.
You're a brave man, Hyso.
Vigorous jazz hands.
Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself.
He's paranoid.
And Hedwig.
Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while.
A wise decision. I'm sitting back in Texas. Damn, you are smarter than you look.
Give him every accent mixed
Probably.
together.
What do you look like? I hope not smart.
Pick one accent or pick the.
He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards
Really?
to
'Cause
dodge it.
This guy seems crazy enough that he could
Can't
have
really
always
tell
been
his eyes are
accent.
squinted because we can't see them.
Never mind, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Wow,
that's
rude.
lame.
I'm happy that's
With
over.
that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and turns and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119.
Someone better than mine.
Bleak
Oh,
beige
my
walls, white linen, a desk. A desk made of some type of light wood.
Oh boy, I sure do love my dresses made of light wood.
Ugly curtains.
Are we done?
Ugly curtains.
Okay.
It's no one's room, impersonal like my hospital bed was.
Room.
I know. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning.
Oh, yikes.
The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. It also it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi. Hang on, am I my parents' voices too, or is my dad again?
Let's do the dad again.
Rinda.
Wait, who wants to do the mom's room? We gotta read it together and send it.
No. Just
Just dad.
John, we've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow.
If you have any problem, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would have been something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lied down on the bed, feeling drained. That was a lot of downs. Lying there it makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. Where's the library? I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. A restless urge just keeps going until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day today, too. I still think I am. I think. That was a lot of... Shush. Damn. I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. I think I already will be. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, that's what I'll do. But for now... He's taking drugs. A bottle of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye.
I thought that was like all the
I
options.
pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, then read the famously glued on pharmacy label. Shush.
Please.
Hey, Helen.
Shush. He's still Nikai.
Two
Two tablets a day to stay alive.
Who would write that on a prescription bottle?
I don't want to take those meds.
Don't stay alive.
It didn't really say that, but it could have just as well.
This explains so much.
It's kind of twisted having your own life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have?
Actually, everything is made of chemicals, so please stop this kind of reckless thinking. Science is fine.
With a sigh, I begin my daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, beginning carefully to check the correct dosages. ... I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. And after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Can we paint the ceiling?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
It doesn't start looking
turns
any
blue.
more familiar, not even after darkness falls, and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here.
Are you throwing shade at the air?
Shush. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. ... Eyes closed, game over.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Is that it?
No, this is the time pass.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's not
It's like,
just
and-
showing the title
There
of
have been
this.
like 2 choices.
I'm
you
not
made.
dead. I
What?
wake up in a strange room.
Like, do you
Good morning,
stay
everybody.
alive or die?
Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I thought it was beige. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room.
We're out of it.
This is the 3rd room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Mine? Various things around here remind me of that indeed. It's me who's supposed to be the one living here. My bags are on the floor. My new school books are on the desk.
Mine?
School bucks.
My numerous medications on the night table for me to eat.
What the heck?
All the drugs.
Mine?
I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out the tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. Shush. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from the one I used to wear before.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Nice.
Is that part of the dialogue?
That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people, of course. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't normal, but I'm sure the others are. No. Or perhaps perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah. What does pass for normal around here? What do people do? Why? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. So if so, I wonder if I should join one, like a literature club.
She's saying what we're all thinking.
All through class, the question remains in my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups, but not about forgiveness. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. This is a great conversation. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly towards Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfectly and evenly flat.
Oh no! Oh no! Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan.
My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please, don't prove me right.
Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do.
You're not wrong.
This place is depressing. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with
What are we
it,
celebrating?
doing whatever.
What are we celebrating? Click.
I was preoccupied.
So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out
Just
too.
what my heart needs.
Stress.
Sure. What's the school festival about? Shush, I added an extra word. Misha freezes.
I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so...
She starts shining desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy.
That starts singing hard.
Huh? Oh. Who cares?
Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning in to look in our direction. Not so loud.
Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time.
You're still too loud.
Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win. Prizes.
The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us.
Baton.
It's a baton now.
It's always been batten.
I know. Finally, noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp.
That came out different noise.
Quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, although brushing it off without a care, I almost thought it said curse. ...
We're in the middle of class. It should start working.
Really?
Wow.
That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right. Hee-chan, are you asking me because you're interested in joining a club?
A literature
Wait,
club?
What happened to her eyes? Did anyone see that?
It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance between them. Misha's tone had also changed, although it does have every other word anyway.
Oof.
What are you doing?
What is up with her eyes?
What? What?
Wait, she's got like an ooh smile.
What's with the
Let's go!
Let's go.
Okay.
What was that?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
That's
Are we
appropriate.
just gonna let that go?
Misha and Chizuru look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flushes in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eyes, I see the girl with long, dark hair get up from her desk and silently slip towards the door. Shush. It doesn't seem like she's working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. She's a ghost! It's Monica. I glance at the teacher, who is also looking at the dark-haired girl go.
Stop comparing this to DDLC.
Yep.
The parallels end after a certain point.
Because this game isn't cursed.
Why doesn't he say anything?
Hee-chan, is something wrong?
Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after a girl who left? No, nothing. ...
Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?
Maybe. Who's saying that? Okay.
You.
I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. I thought...
What?
That was your thoughts, and this is what you said.
Oh,
Why were there quotes?
no,
Alright.
not
You were thinking
really.
about saying it.
Hi.
Man. So, come on now.
Do you want to have lunch together then?
Why? Sure.
That was a bad choice. ...
Shut up, they're cute. Go out with them. Yay! Okay,
We're
Hee-chan.
trying not to go out
Perfect.
with anyone.
Oh, right.
Right, we're trying not to.
The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with long hair never came back. She's dead. Before I have time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working.
It's time to stop.
Shizuni looks more than a little annoyed that we only barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. ...
Yes, it is, Hee-chan.
What? Impossible.
Got real.
Really?
Really.
What's going on with this music? It's getting
I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha always moves her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizuni can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizuni. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizuni can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and it will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions over a prize. If there is no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizuni's eyes flash dangerously with the competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. ...
Are you sure, Hee-chan?
Very sure. ...
Haha, you're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them.
Shizuni pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag and looks at me expectantly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. ...
Where do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
That's so plain. Okay, let's go.
Plain? Well, I guess.
Cheers.
At my old
Where
school,
on
I
the
liked to eat
cafeteria?
outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw, some of my classmates had boxed lunches. I can read. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. Oh, great.
So, Hee-chan, you
Oh.
wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right?
No. ...
Right, Shi-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again. Stop it. And Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Thank God.
Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I used to play football, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and the players or really anything like that. As of late, I usually read a lot.
Oh,
So if you
no.
have a literature club,
Oh no. There is a book club, right, Shi-chan? Right. But it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Everyone loves the literature club.
especially Monica. ...
Don't. Ah, okay. But more to the point, Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind?
Not really. ...
Good! Great! That's great, Hee-chan. Really great!
Why is that so great?
No reason.
I don't trust you.
Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs in the upcoming festival, there is one other thing.
I really don't trust you.
Student council!
How about no? I see. I don't know this school had a student council. It was very melodramatic setup, though. Just tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. No. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. ...
Right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student
How about
council.
no?
They could use more people. Yes, definitely.
No.
You should definitely
No.
join.
No! Why?
Just do it. Well, for one, we could hang out every day,
What if I
Hee-chan.
don't want to?
Shi-chan and I are both in the student council.
How about no?
Actually, Shi-chan is the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk with about this. Yes. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. ...
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to...
So you're admitting to that. ...
No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the working of one's school.
But I don't want to.
Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if she's really good at acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Well... ...
So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan. You literally have no say in the matter.
What? Not me? No! No!
Nani?
Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily.
No consent.
Yup, That's right, though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now.
You're betting on it?
Oh,
Hey,
no.
my life is not a game here. Yes, it is. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. That aggressive glint returns to her eyes.
Oh no, Shizune is Monica. ... That's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about Rich Man, Poor Man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Aw, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? ...
Yup.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll have a clear disadvantage, so I have to decline. ... He... No. I forgot. Sorry.
Baka.
I'm hurting so much.
Dang.
Hee-chan, I am very offended. Are you saying that you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
Sorry. It's hard to tell whether it's Shizune's influence and where she's and Misha's thoughts begin.
Shizune.
I know. ...
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No.
How about a game of paper football instead of Rich Man, Poor Man?
Paper football.
Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past the
But
goalpost that the
football
other
is soccer.
person makes with their fingers.
That's not football.
Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. ... And it's also played by elementary and middle school children. Shi-chan? That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it.
Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hee-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I couldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anyone who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I'm losing my accent. ...
Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination?
No.
Risk.
I don't know what that
We're gonna
is.
play Risk now. It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Risk.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school.
No. ...
Aw, really, Shi-chan? We can just play for fun, Hee-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan. Wait a second.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I don't trust you, especially with that laugh. I grimace to tell them about how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class.
Oh.
During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I try to escape.
So attractive. You're really gonna win these girls
I
over.
feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with this? With the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? ... That's right, we're just gonna go play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know, Misha. All this seems a little sinister to me. I'm starting to think that when we sit down to play a game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. That's not how you get someone to join the student council.
This seems dark.
Well, it's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. This is a very long first act.
That's probably why
Getting
we
to
had 2
the
hours
student
for it.
council
That's
room
already
is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. Nani? That's it? This makes you guys being on top of me seem a little silly. ...
That's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffled expression and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Excuse me. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily, Stop that, I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune.
Savage.
Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's very plain, once more. Sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and smaller desk prominently placed in the backs that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school book records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? ...
No?
What do you mean, no? Does it mean no one else is coming today? ...
Yeah, that's right.
Before I manage to ask why that's the cause, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. ...
Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it to the table. Actually, it looks kind of interesting.
I'm gonna be here for hours.
After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with what seems vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arms through the air. Do not hit me. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I'm trying to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. ...
Hee-chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no! ...
Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
You're so competitive, Shizumi. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would have expected the student council president to be a little more
I believe in you.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous?
She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizumi, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the words into her memory. ... Suddenly, Shizunu bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing.
Wait, please slow down. Hee-chan, Shi-chan says you're going to lose.
Gonna interrupt right here. We've gotten a $30 anonymous donation.
Yay!
Thank you, anonymous.
Thank you!
Hooray.
Thank you very much.
You're not Luigi.
Our total is now all the way up to $1,465.
Whoa!
Also, pause the game real quick with a right click, and let's see. All right, so I think we screwed up the daylight saving time thing, and I thought that it was earlier than or later. I don't know. We've only been playing for an hour and a half. This is scheduled for 2 hours, but it is the scheduled time to move on to the next thing. I can tell Adam in at least is having fun with this.
I mean, this is actually kind of fun.
Do you guys want to keep going with this or move on?
I kind of want to keep going until the end of the first chapter.
Okay.
I haven't got another voice.
I kind of also do want someone else to have some voices too.
I would actually appreciate other people talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I'd appreciate having someone to talk for.
Okay. Well, yeah.
If someone else wants to be the narrator
You know,
as well.
you would think
No.
we could have more than 2 people talking with 3 characters, but one of you has to be a deaf-mute person. No offense to any deaf-mute people watching
Alright,
this
next
stream.
side.
Oh, we read this?
Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Wait, did we just make a choice or not?
Oh look.
No.
Okay.
Oh look,
well,
the OO.
The eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief.
What's this? ...
OO.
She says you
Okay,
have
here we
no
go.
chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't.
Alright, so like I said, I've done all of the routes, and I've only ever picked the first one. We're trying to get the bad ending.
So.
I feel like it would help if we won this game.
It's a trap. It's
Okay,
a trap.
Adam, so we're in the middle of the game. We can either attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
Don't injure yourself.
This pulling on my.
It's a trap!
Should we attack aggressively or play defensively?
I don't
feel
know,
like
I
it's
can't
a
see the
trap.
board.
I feel like it's a trap.
Yeah.
She's a really smart person.
Defensively.
I don't know, I don't think she's a
I
trap.
want to win and make him mad.
Okay, so play defensively.
Adam.
Okay, I should stop.
It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup, and I'm not going to wreck it with something reckless. A few turns, I lose the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in celebration. ...
Hee-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, not me. ... Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. That's very true. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Hee-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition! Ambition! I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hee-chan. You didn't take enough risks. And when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hee-chan.
Damn. What's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. ...
Oh
No.
no.
I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Uh-oh.
What? What's this for reverse psychology?
No, you're fired.
I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Dot, dot, dot.
Giving up just like that, I expected more of you.
Seriously, it's just really trying to taunt me into joining the council. Besides, I don't want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet, and these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look around at the other clubs before I decide.
Really, Hee-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure what I want to do.
Aww.
Dot, dot, dot.
Okay, Hee-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around.
No, there's not. Dot, dot, dot.
Come on, we could really have some fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that.
That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining you, you know. Dot, dot, dot.
Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know then, to give you a handicap.
I might have to say that just to make you feel better after all.
Oh, that's cold, Hee-chan.
Exactly. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent a far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library if it's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? It's not. There's a clock on the wall, right on the wall. Dot, dot, dot.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks. It's okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Please tell me there's another person talking.
Please tell me we get to talk to someone else.
One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems.
We will need the list soon.
The second floor is a carbon copy of the third floor. One hallway. A wide, of course, and plain, and like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs starting with which class they belong to, and then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it somewhere else down the hall? That was words. I bet on the later and choose a direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not opened either, just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push to the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle of my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. I was not expecting that. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, although it is much easier to open than I anticipated. I'm losing my accent. Leaning over, I poke my head even further inside to gain sight of the room fast as possible. The meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Dot, dot, dot.
Well.
This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of a solitary figure taking center stage in an otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me.
Alright, who's wavy
That's
hair
me.
girl? Okay.
Hello there, may I help you?
Oh no.
Staring directly in front of herself, at the moment her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but among the foreigners I've met of the school, she's strikingly distinct.
Oh, she's American.
Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on a wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is also very different from the student council's office.
I take it you're a new student to
Yamaku?
Yamaku.
Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get distracted by a distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, as accented by her restrained bow, of greetings. I'm adding so many words. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of this action.
I'm Lily Sato. Nice to meet you.
Hisao Nakai. I know. She nods. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from the collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. Was she standing on the chair? She was standing on the chair.
Off the chair.
A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizuni and Misha have no problem working together to communicate with me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink.
So,
Her soft voice brings me out of my silence authorization.
which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
The school library. Shizuni and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water in the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred.
I'm aware of Miss Hakimichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no?
That's right, in the science room with Mutu. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table,
No, keep doing it.
teacup and saucer in hand.
Oh yeah, don't giggle.
There was your.
Hey, Tristan.
I know. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do.
I don't know about that. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems rather a bad moment to bring it up. I'm gonna be British. Let me have my tea. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it's hard. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
I see. Sorry.
Savage.
I feel like slapping myself for the
Faux pas.
faux pas. Looking at her face, though she didn't seem the least bit put off by it.
My, there's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions.
A new category, which would include her, it seems. Oh, not a new category. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking of it, it might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed, calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library.
You mean the literature club?
There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs.
At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though it is encouraged.
Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guards around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming to the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Really? Huh. The time's gone quickly.
Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly move to allay her concern. Oh, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems seems likely to know in any case. Why is the music so loud?
It's always been loud.
It's so loud now.
It's always been this loud.
True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. I might get going if that's the case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it, all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me,
Again.
which they seem to be having a habit of doing.
It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, that would be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped into the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy was using in class, my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the corner of the floor rather than either wing. I'm so good at English. Ladies first.
You're tired.
She gives an appreciative smile at my gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms.
Yuko, are you here?
She says into thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail.
Alright.
Who's after Tristan?
But
I don't want
you
to.
already have a major part, so
This one's not super major. The next one
Okay.
is though.
then you. And then Brendan will get the next one.
The origin
mine.
appeared the librarian.
Oh, he's dead.
The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up
Then it
to
goes back to
extremely
you,
rigid attention.
Hi, Lily. How can I help you?
Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head.
Just a sec.
All right.
Did we read this?
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound.
It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me.
Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know.
It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
She's quick to reverse Lily's apology, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yes, worse things have happened.
The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around on the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit the library perfectly.
Ah, Lily, did you get my message?
Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived?
Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but...
Amidst the celebrations, partially from managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does.
Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry.
The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling.
He's with me, he's with me. Yuko, this is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian.
Pleased to meet you.
Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao.
For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she wouldn't forget.
Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library?
Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror.
Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is way too much responsibility.
How is it any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. This is not a light novel. So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. Seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense.
Her name's Yu-Gi-Oh.
No.
No, I wasn't pronouncing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was pronouncing Yukio.
I know, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I think about a third or a fourth of the Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio.
Makes sense, given all the blind students that are here. Well, if it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place?
Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they waste so much. I wish I could quit this job.
Very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me.
Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's all right with you.
My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read a blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few minutes, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choices here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it's what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood of the room I had tea with Lily is stuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd students sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting in one of several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class. She's the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she's acting today, I had pegged her as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third of it, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I'm shocked and then divert my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes me too many seconds to collect myself and remember why I walked up to her. For
Alright. What's the bad choice?
The one you haven't chosen.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
Just
new.
go with
I'm
whatever you
Sao.
haven't chosen.
Yeah, just go for it.
Alright.
Hi, I'm new here. Hisao Naki. We're in the same class. Da da da. I just transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember. Da da da.
Was this choice so bad we won't need a voice actor?
The girl doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many new people as I can. So, what's your name?
Hanako.
Her speech is stuttered and so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Sometimes I think that my delinquent impression was wrong of her. Was wrong. Hanako, eh? So, what are you reading? She gently tips the book backwards so I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi. I've never heard of it before. What's it about?
A boy and a tiger on a boat.
I can see this is taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looks kind of tense, a little bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way, more like petrified with terror, I'd say. So the mysterious delinquent girl turns out to be anything but, and she's quivering in a way that makes it look like she's mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many.
No, it's mine.
Oh, so you come here often? Dot dot. A huge blush spreads across Hanako's face, and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for eyes to do. Uh-oh, did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? I mean, I didn't mean it like that.
I've got to do something.
I've got to go to do something.
I've got to go.
Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until after she's got a good head start.
Does this seem
By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen.
diverging?
Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I wouldn't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approached the girls. Hey, did you say, did you notice a girl run past here?
Maybe. What did she look like?
Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had some, scars on her face.
You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you?
Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading a book and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something.
Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her.
Sure, I'll just hold on to these until you come back.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time.
Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving you alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong?
What did you do?
Nothing, I just talked to her. I tried to get to know her, didn't manage to get started. Yuko sighs and looks awfully bothered, even more so than she did before.
I guess you weren't wrong so much as tactless.
Tactless?
That girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone.
Isn't that a bit strange?
I wonder. It's just how she is, I think.
Yuko doesn't seem all that convinced. Then again, maybe it's just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casual only makes me feel phony. like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it.
I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way.
I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily.
What? Did that sound stupid?
No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that.
Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you.
Oh, yeah. I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbag where Hanako and I was sitting and returned to the counter.
Well, you read a lot, don't you?
I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I have a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill the time. I couldn't do much else.
I see.
Well, she doesn't say anything else and just checks the books out for me. I guess that's what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden loud sound from behind me startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying, or the key I almost managed to get into the lock.
Who's next?
Not it.
Wait, what was the scroll up?
Yeah, who is it?
Did say.
Is it just Kenji again?
A
that's what I'm
sudden
thinking.
sound from behind me.
Well, let's keep-
It's a new person.
You were Kenji. Jacob.
This isn't
Just
Kenji.
go who is
don't
it?
know?
Go forward. We'll find out.
That's not going forward.
I know it's not. Okay. Yeah, I think it's Kenji again. Who is it? Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is-
gosh, I thought we
There
would
we go.
recognize his voice.
Nope.
I turn
No,
around
but it changes every time.
to
so.
see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although there's light glittering off his glasses in the dark, giving him a sinister look. Whoosh! It's just me. I makes him pause and licks his lips nervously.
Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? Don't know what.
His voice is strained and quick. Yes, we've met before, yesterday.
I don't think so. I would remember someone who I only met yesterday. When was that? What day is it today?
I tried to ignore him. Is he joking or what?
Prove that we've met before.
You live across the hall, you're Kenji.
Oh no!
Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear.
How do you know my name? Damn, this could only mean one of two things. Either we have met and you are telling the truth and I just can't remember it, or you are a spy.
He's paranoid. He pauses.
A psychic spy.
Oh no.
His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic.
How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader.
Kenji points a finger in my face, damningly.
Damningly.
Shush.
Unlike you.
Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room.
Lies. If you think you can pass as Hyasal because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding?
I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh.
Stay there.
Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did.
Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you.
sighing again, and then once again, for good measure, I stepped backwards just in case.
What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong?
I don't know. I just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one, I can't get a proper touch on other people here. I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact with either.
That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. Here we go. It's the hard reality we live in.
I'm slowly starting to think Kenji isn't necessarily living the same reality as the rest of us.
You see, this is how it is, this world. There is no justice. You see? Even when I lose, I win because I don't lose the lesson.
What do you even mean?
It doesn't matter.
He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand.
So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face?
I don't know. I've never seen myself. It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, she ran away from me.
See our face when we were talking with Lily.
Shush. It's my fault, really. I think I'm not really used to all of this yet.
A girl? A cute one?
There's a lot of ones. Cute? That's hardly a question. She has a nice body and beautiful hair, but the face... I guess it could go either way. She wasn't cute.
Oof.
Not exactly cute, no.
There are a lot of cute girls here. A strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen?
I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets?
Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark. Like a black hole.
Could it be possible that there is a chamber of these secrets?
Or a literature club?
Have you noticed that the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40.
It's reverse roller.
Dang it, I was gonna say that.
Guys, it's like reverse Rolla.
He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing.
Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind.
Wait,
Are you ready?
here comes the conspiracy
I
theory.
don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. No, just no. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not.
I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration.
Alright, it's time for bed. Good night.
I am kidding.
This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this cold war turns hot, they will have superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a fixed 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of a military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They are so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when...
Kenji's voice trails off ominously.
That is why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then kill you, just as they killed me. You will end up just like me.
Oh, hell no.
What?
I can't stop myself from blurting it out.
Hey, what the hell does that mean?
You said it, not me. It's the best I could think of.
So, you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy.
Stop it! Stop! I lost you way back there somewhere around feminist infiltration.
Too hard to follow? It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets?
No puppets.
You don't like puppets. Okay. Graphs are still cool though, right?
He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking. Moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. It's too strange. I had him pegged as a relatively normal, but it's clearly I was wrong.
Something on your mind, dude?
Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. We are ass.
You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two of the last sane man. It would invalidate the whole last part. And that part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there was only one dude left because that was the point.
There can be only one.
I have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before.
Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. I also have a list of the other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds, as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal.
I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late.
I'm with Hisao on this one.
That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later.
We're gonna be killed by
He
Kenji.
cuffs me on the back, then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed with someone over there. It takes me some time to relax, and I get up so I can get started on my homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheek, and it almost feels like just like laying there with my eyes closed. This school is some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's like isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last.
I want to give a quick shout out. We've got some viewers from Australia in our chat room.
Cool.
Yay!
I'm sorry we're disparaging your accents.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oof!
Yeah. Yeah.
Trina and David.
I can't just see. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony would?
That's what you're asking about.
What irony one would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say it, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. You need some posters or something. I guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place is really more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is quite beautiful. I open one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much for a normal school, too much like a normal school after all.
Kind of getting into the Kenji voice now.
Kenji's nice.
Doesn't know they've seen this.
Where's my happy notes?
How much longer are we playing this?
I don't know. This is a very
How
long...
badly do you want to get killed by this guy?
Let's try to do it. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary.
I would like
After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so the situation is convenient for me.
Lost her.
About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and she sees Shizune and Misha looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that's equal parts cute and menacing. That smile says, "We have you now. There's no escape."
Hee-chan, it looks like we're together again. Yay, yay!
Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There's no escape now unless I jump through the window.
This seems plausible.
Let's go through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly.
It's the only
Darn
option.
It.
Close.
Dot, dot, dot.
What's wrong, Hee-chan?
Everything. Dot, dot, dot.
Oh, Hee-chan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Hee-chan. We were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Right.
I'm so happy the two are able to laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two can be. Now that that's over, Shizune snaps back to a serious mode and smacks today's assignment on the back with her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's almost just reading. In fact, there are only 2 problems. I like that. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the classroom and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her work with other people before. Think back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that guy over there.
Huh? Who, Hee-chan?
Her, Hanako. Over there. Does she always work alone?
I think so, Hee-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone?
I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something.
No, I don't think that would be a good idea,
I
Hee-chan.
don't think you're thinking right. Why not?
Shi-chan wouldn't get along with her.
Why? Misha shuffles her papers around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lilting up and down quality present in everything she says.
Just because, Hee-chan.
I don't trust you.
Oh,
By
shoot.
now, Shizune has noticed our conversation. It makes me realize, again, how Misha has been signing everything she's been saying the whole time. Da-da-da.
What, Shi-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy? That sounds so harsh. I'm not gonna say that.
You just did. You said it anyway.
I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you over here.
I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand the things Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is this also why she signs all the time, so there's never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? Da-da-da.
Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hee-chan.
No.
Too bad. Assignment
We
time.
finished with time to spare, and I decided to ask if there's any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly the food there has been subpar.
It's okay.
This sends Shizune and Misha into arguing amongst themselves about their favorite restaurants, all of them downtown, so I don't think we'll have time to go all the way there. What about the bill? They're just arguing for the fun of it. Maybe they seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the classroom is busying themselves with lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging the desks, the ones with actual boxed lunches mixed in, and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, she seems like I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she's invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. I guess she's waiting for somebody. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do. Like now, I've already started on one of the books I borrowed yesterday, and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page I creased the corner of. That's not good.
How
To
dare
mark
you?
the spot I left yesterday night and pick up from there.
I've lost all respect I ever had for this character.
Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about the restaurant still. If I join them, I'd just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there's nobody who'd need to hear what they're talking about. But why does she tend to sign things when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said, or even more strangely, when Shizune is not even around at all? What an odd conflict of habits. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of classroom, so I do, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though still talking in their animated fashion. It's getting hard to breathe through my nose for whatever reason. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway train.
Who's next on the list?
Is that me? Ouch.
Wow. You've never been on the list.
Oh no.
It's funny.
Quick, what's this password?
Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and now has fallen down in the hallway. She wears a PE uniform and very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. More striking than that, though, is she doesn't have any legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs end in shins and feet that are made of some black metallic and plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial. Really? Unnatural. It's almost like they make me forget about my chest. That my chest is hurting. Go to the hospital. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose and jumps up.
Who's playing Twin Tails Girl?
I refuse.
You're good. You're reading like half of the darn thing at least, like 75%.
You're not reading anything.
All right, Adam's taking it.
Thank you.
Oh man. Hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry.
She's looking really apologetic, in the hurt puppy kind of way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. Oh, crud. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest. I know this is the biggest possible danger for my condition. He needs to use more conditioner. Don't overexert yourself, don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest.
No.
I tried to rub my solar plex to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. I think we're hearing it quite fine.
Oh.
It seems normal.
Hey, should I get a nurse?
The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realize I'm probably looking worse off than I really was, doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time and taking a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me, big time. But it's nothing more than that.
You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard.
It's okay, I said I was fine, and nothing's broken, no harm done.
That's good.
I feel a hand on my shoulder at the same time the girl's eyes widen harder.
I was.
Scroll up if you want to.
What?
Close enough, just go on.
Keep going. Keep moving. Why are you skipping your lines now?
Oh,
Stop!
What are you doing?
I'm telling you.
Eep!
It
Just stick!
It doesn't stick. It like interrupts it.
Oh,
Just
oh,
go!
Okay.
Just keep going. Just go with that.
Right. Oh no!
I didn't have time to look behind me. Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to the girl, signing furiously at her. It's not her fault!
Miss Ibarazaki, I saw that. Running in the halls is strictly forbidden.
Misha translates right on Shizune's tail, but her voice is girlishly playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arms movement would seem to call for.
Sorry. I was just going to get some stuff and I was in a kind of a hurry.
Da-da-da.
You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behavior endangers other students, and even worse, it's explicitly against the school's regulations.
The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's cute, I find myself smiling.
I know that. I was just...
Da-da-da.
Make sure that this will not happen again, although I'm sure telling you this is futile and only causes me further headache when you choose to ignore the regulations. Got that, Emmy?
The girl sticks her tongue out in response.
Ah! I gotta go. Teacher will have my head. I promised to help out with printouts, but I'm running instead. Sorry, but I've got to change everything.
Before Misha and Shizune or I can say anything, she's already bolted from where she was a second ago, almost halfway towards the stairwell. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot, so I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down. Da-da-da.
Are you okay, Hee-chan? That Ibarazaki girl is always like that, causing troubles to others.
You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me Hee-chan.
Never mind.
Da-da-da. Yeah, anyway, I'm okay. I just got the wind knocked out of me. Da-da-da.
That's great, Hee-chan.
I wouldn't call that great, but I let it slide this one time. Da-da-da.
We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat.
Da-da-da.
Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. We can take you there some other time. Oh, but that'd be like a date, wouldn't it?
How about no?
How about
Girls
wah?
leave for downstairs. I don't manage to get far from the third floor hallway before all the commotion struck. Literally. I should get going as well. Lunch in the afternoon class passed uneventfully. I read most of my book I started yesterday and eat some of the most inedible offerings of the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd, at the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but filling the considerable short hours feels different. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Moto is examining the assignment sheets that we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pin. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he noticed me and furrows his brow. I don't remember who this was.
Was this you or him?
Probably one of those two.
It wasn't. I think it was Tristan.
I would like to point out that it is
Oh, it was Tristan.
some variation of 337.
Yeah, I'm aware it's some variation of 337.
I will just say it has been over 2 hours since we started this.
What is it, Nakai?
I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's not. It's natural to spark some conversation since no one else is around. Nothing. Thinking about what to do after school. The teacher slowly puts his cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking against the desk twice. He He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune. But the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine.
You have no plans?
No, I considered joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me.
Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest.
Pause for just a second, right click. Okay. You can keep going.
Excuse me. I guess. I don't.
Okay. So, Act 1 goes until Sunday is when the festival is, which is the last day. We're currently on Wednesday.
Nope.
Nope. I'm done reading.
All right.
Done reading.
I asked like an hour ago if people wanted to keep going. They said yes. Seems like we're saying no now.
I didn't know how long this was going, and
Just to clarify for Jacob's benefit, we are in fact saying no.
All right. So thanks for everyone who stuck with that for so long. Sorry we didn't get to the point where we die, but
What are we gonna have to skip
Katawa
out on
Shoujo,
now?
check it out. What are we gonna? We'll just cut. I mean, just dance at the end was kind of.
Well, that was the next thing.
Well, that's not the next thing. We've got Mario Kart on Switch. We are already cutting into. That was supposed to end at 4, which is almost 4. The things we have left are Mario Kart Switch, Race the Sun, Super Mario Party Switch, and Just Dance. Honestly, I might say we play Mario Kart. I definitely want to get Race the Sun in. We can cut Mario Party, probably. Well, no, you got that just for this, didn't you? Or who brought the Switch?
He went that way. He gone.
Alright, well. We're gonna figure out what we're doing, but we are playing a different game now. So we're gonna play a promo video. Hello to our new viewers tuning in from different parts of the world. We've only got 4.5 more hours or so. 4.5, 5 hours left on this stream. So, good math. You wanna go click the button? Actually, I'll just do it. We'll be back with something else shortly. We're streaming for Extra Life to support our local children's miracle